Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to review a pretty intriguing character. When she was first introduced to the game, I thought she was going to be one of the best characters out of her set. Turns out she wasn't actually that good, and it took quite some time before people figured out how to use her properly. Then, more recently, with the announcement of Alliance Conquest and the introduction of more kind of PvP formats, she has taken on a new spotlight in the game. I'm of course talking about Squirrel Girl. Now this review also goes out to a special Debris Boy, joining all the live streams, joining all the videos. This one's for you, bro, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's check out what makes Squirrel Girl so enigmatic. So the pros of Squirrel Girl are that she has a summon, she has lots of iframes, and she has lots of stuns and a damage proc with her uniform, which makes her quite a utility character overall. The cons are that she has pretty low damage even for a speed type character, and that does make her difficult to gear up for certain situations. She also has a deceptive fourth skill or fourth passive that makes her look better than she might appear in certain game modes, but she's still definitely formidable. So let's jump right into the skills with her first skill, Squirrel Bombs. This is on a very short cooldown and it's an iframe. Those are the two most important aspects of this skill, otherwise it's very vanilla. Similarly with Squirrel, a very short cooldown, also a full iframe, however it also applies a 2-second stun, so very strong for Shadowlands, a very good follow-up skill after you do something else. Her third skill, Tail Whip, will bring you very close to the enemy and you'll kind of circle around them, kind of like Gwenpool's second skill, and it does do some kind of light guard break action in something like Shadowlands. Her fourth skill, Cosmic Defender, is what she's best known for in the comics. We never see it, but she takes down Thanos, and that is reflected here with the 25% increased damage to universal type characters. That is both villains and heroes and anyone donning a uniform like Vision, for example. So it does make her very flexible and especially good in PvP scenarios where you're going to see a lot of universal types, especially now. Her fourth skill, which does change with her uniform, has summoning squirrels that come by to attack, and it does have a 3-second stun, which is excellent for Shadowlands. And then, most notably, Tippy Toe comes out, her summon, her big giant squirrel with her fifth skill. This is also an iframe, so it has a defensive component to it, much like Loki's summons, and it's got a whopping 130% of Squirrel Girl's stats when it's maxed out, so Tippy Toe ends up being extremely tanky at tier 2. Her leadership is nothing to write home about. Her tier 2 passive is okay at best. The 25% increase to attack and defense, and then the 15% to HP and 20% duration to Tippy Toe is good. It does make Tippy Toe additionally tanky. The 10% guaranteed dodge is negligible. The most important reason, or the most noticeable part of tier 2ing Squirrel Girl is her base stats. Her base stats will rise quite a bit, and it will make her summon stronger, it will make her hits a little bit better, and that would be the best reason to tier 2 the character. But she doesn't take a huge jump from tier 1 to tier 2 because a lot of her magic actually happens on this page in her skills. So an ideal rotation for Squirrel Girl would of course have to start with the fifth skill, because it's going to bring out your extra damage dealer. It's going to bring out someone that can distract for you, because Tippy Toe can take the attention away from you, so you can safely DPS from behind the enemy or the world boss. Then you want to open into the first skill, which has an iframe and it's safe, and it also gives you some distance in case there's an AoE attack coming. Then you want to rotate, if you can, safely into her third skill. I believe her third skill probably does the most single target damage. And then you want to do her second skill, which will also be an iframe, and then that'll set you up nicely to go back into her fifth skill if you have max skill cooldown. You can work in the fourth skill after the second skill for a final rotation of 5, 1, 3, 2, 4, but the fourth skill is probably the least safe. It's the most vulnerable skill. You can get hit during it, and it will not stun world bosses, so it's kind of a risky move to take. Also keep in mind there is no stun on this skill without a uniform, so you may not have that going for you, but she is a pretty powerful character if you can chain all of those skills, especially in Shadowlands. 3 iframes and 2 stuns and a summon equals winner time, boys. As far as the gear goes for Squirrel Girl, we have physical attack and crit damage on the first, physical defense and attack speed, so we don't get the all defense, crit rate and ignore defense. We don't have the HP, unfortunately, and then dodge and skill cooldown. So she has kind of a suboptimal gear setup. She doesn't have HP, all defense, ignore defense, or skill cooldown as a primary stat. She only has 2 of those 4 as secondary stats. However, we will have to make up for it with her gears and obviously with her Uru. So you can follow my steps except for the second gear, which should also be physical attack, and then also this one should also be energy attack on the second slot, and then the rest are the same. This one obviously will vary for everyone. It's going to probably be like me, a combination of skill cooldown plus another one. If you need ignore defense, go with that. If you don't, crit damage will be your best friend. As far as Uru go, because Squirrel Girl is not going to compete in Extreme Alliance Battle or those kinds of game modes, she doesn't need to prioritize damage so much. It's still good to give her those requisite 2 physical attack Urus on each of her 4 gear slots. After that, I would go more defensive. I would probably give her 2 HP Urus if you have the space for it, and then that 5th one for each slot goes with either skill cooldown or ignore defense, whichever you need more of. As far as an obelisk goes, the same applies for her Uru. She's not going to compete in Extreme Alliance Battle, and with her uniform, she already has a damage proc as part of the uniform bonus, so you can go ahead and give her a defensive obelisk. I obviously have not done that yet. I'm still working on trying to get one. I think the ideal obelisk for Squirrel Girl would be one that prioritizes skills or stats that will then pass over to Tippy Toe. So max defense, max HP, all defense, and invincibility. Both the max HP and the all defense will benefit Tippy Toe and make Tippy Toe, her summon, much tankier, and also Squirrel Girl. And then that 5 seconds or 4 or 3 seconds of invincibility will allow your Squirrel Girl to fight longer in PvP. But even if you don't go with a damage or an invincibility obelisk and you do go with a damage proc, Squirrel Girl will still last a long time. And the secret behind Squirrel Girl lasting so long in PvP, especially in things like Conquest, is the fact that she tends to favor her first and her second skill, which are both iframes. I've seen Squirrel Girls in Conquest rotate through 2 or 3 skills very tightly and basically render their opponents unable to move because they can't target her because she's constantly iframing. And I've seen Squirrel Girl take down teams of 2 or 3, even characters who were tier 2 when she was tier 1, based solely on the fact that the AI for the skill rotations loves to use her iframe skills. So she doesn't necessarily need a lot of damage, she just needs time to do damage. That being said, you should equip an offensive ISO set for Squirrel Girl because she does need the damage in this category, and because it lasts for the amount of time that it does here, the 20 seconds, this will benefit the fact that she rotates through lots of iframes. So you'll have more time to take advantage of that increase to all attack because Squirrel Girl doesn't rely on burst damage, which is better suited for a damage proc. She just does constant, consistent damage over a longer period of time with her skills chipping you down and with Tippy Toe chipping you down with them teeth, with them chompers. So the benefits of Power of Angry Hulk or Overdrive, the 2 preferred offensive sets, would definitely benefit this speed character greatly. Now, where you can farm Squirrel Girl is actually still in the special missions. You may not know it because you may be farming for the hidden routes to get Dormammu in the Inhuman special missions, but if you swap over to the New Avengers missions, you can go into New York State of Mind and fight her. Keep in mind that although you will see Tippy Toe in the, or sorry, not Tippy Toe, you will see Squirrel Girl in the daily mission for gold and experience, and you will kill her, you will not be able to get her biometrics. Of course, you can also get her bios from daily chests that give you speed characters, Shadowlands bios, you can use mega rank up tickets, etc. Lastly, guys, I usually leave you with a world boss clear, but I wanted to show you guys something a little bit more special. One of the other Debris Boys challenged me in a Shadowlands clear a while ago to clear stage 1 of Shadowlands, which is a speed relay with Squirrel Girl. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cynicalex, speed characters against speed characters aren't going to do any damage. And you would be right about that. Squirrel Girl only did 1 damage per hit to Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and Winter Soldier. However, her summon, Tippy Toe, is combat. So I hope you guys enjoy this magic. What the fuck? Clint Barton's trying to get me. He's not gonna get me. Not this time. No! Winter Soldier. Report for duty. Duty. No. No, stop it, Ant-Man. No! Oh, yes, I dodged it. Oh, and he's distracted. Spider-Man's distracted. Oh my gosh, we got it. No, 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 Spider-Man, please. So there you guys have it. That is my review of Squirrel Girl. I think she is a very interesting character because of how powerful the AI makes her and her skill rotation in Conquest and those types of game formats. She can lock down opponents and render them useless by constantly chaining iframes and basically being invisible to her enemy. In addition, I love how thematically sound the character is as she's been transferred over from the comic universe. So I think Netmarble did a fantastic job designing her. Let me know what you guys think of the Squirrel Girl review. Let me know if you're surprised by her success and you actually want to build her now after this review or not. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you on the Twitch live streams for the Spider-Man Homecoming 24-hour update hype. Hashtag that, boys. Take care.